I am the one, I am the one. Everybody duck. My pawns on my echo wood, then a loaded gun. I don't need to stun, cause I am the one. I do this for fun, I do this for fun. I am the
Are we live? Of course we're live. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. And tonight, it is a European stream. All of us right here have European ambitions, aspirations. I don't want to talk about Manchester United. I'm tired of them, even though they are still in Europe. I don't want to talk about Chelsea. I don't want to talk about Conference League. But there is one person who I want to talk about, that is Spurs, which we are going to get into. But let me first introduce my panel. Ahmad, straight out of the new camp. How are you, my brother?
I am good. I am flying high. I am on cloud 69. How's everybody else doing?
We good, man. We good. Appreciate you jumping on, even though you're sore throat and you got the
I do
flu.
apologize.
But I knew it wasn't gonna stop you, of course. It must be from all the shouting for Barcelona, but don't blame you no less. And of course, my Hotspur brother, Bram the man. How are you?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. Thank you very much for the show this evening. I'm good.
Okay, say no more. And of course, we have a special guest. It's not his first time on the channel, but it's his first time with the Podcast brother. So let me introduce my brother from another mother, the Arsenal Cape Town chairman, a man who I also close to my heart. Warren, what are you saying, my brother?
How's it, brother? How's it? Yeah, thanks for having me again. I'm always ready for a football chat. It's what I do best. So, no, thanks for having me again, man. And yeah, counting the minutes and seconds to tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Yeah, look, before we even get there, let's chat
Yeah,
about last. Wow, big ups, Warren. What a awesome show, awesome evening. You know what? I have to admit, I don't know if you guys also, I don't know how Warren felt, but Tuesday I was on a high. The Wednesday I was still on a high. And then, the Thursday, then the dust settles and I started crashing. And I only came right on Saturday. I was all over the place, Warren. I don't know about you.
we listen here off. Most of the people actually only got home at about 1 o'clock the next morning, and we partied on.
You guys still partied on.
We partied till past midnight, brother. The disco was going.
Oh,
Listen,
Ah.
I don't blame you guys. And I actually, before the game, I sent Devi a message to say, do North London proud. Because I felt that the Arsenal had the fact that it was at home first. I felt Arsenal had the easier draw. Um, in the sense that with Dortmund, you didn't think that they would raise Arsenal's game if they had to draw Dortmund. Inter, I felt would have been a bit of a sticky one because um, they can shut you out, and you need to wait for them to make a mistake.
mm,
But I felt Madrid was the one game that Arsenal were going to raise their game, and when Arsenal raised their game, Arsenal are a better team than Real
mm.
Madrid, right? And yes, everyone's going to say, if you look at the players that they've got, blah, blah, blah. But I think Ahmed, me and you, through, way up till before this game, for weeks, have been saying Madrid are not at their best. They're not that great. There's a lot of flaws in their game, and they tend to beat you on who they are. Right? It's the same with
That is
United
correct.
under Fergie. They would win games because of who they are, not because they played better than you on the day, but eventually you crumble due to severe pressure. I don't see Arsenal losing tomorrow night. Arsenal might lose the game, but they won't lose the tie. Arsenal through to the next round. No matter
Does it?
how you want to say, look, or say, but Madrid at the Bernabeu, but Madrid.
That's the thing.
For me, Madrid at their best. As long as Arsenal come out and play, don't sit back and expect. We
Mm.
are expected to be on the
Exactly.
back foot. We are
Exactly.
expected to be. So, if Arsenal play, Madrid will probably win 3-2, 2-1. Arsenal will still go through on the night. They might lose on the night, but they'll go through at the end of the game. I don't see
Mm.
Arsenal losing to this. Because, yes, man for man, with their price tags, you would say Madrid have a better team, better individuals. But as a team, no. I think Arsenal will be the team.
Oh no,
Look,
definitely. But
I
this
think
look,
is
Arsenal's
let's
a
this
better
is
team.
this
yeah,
is the
we'll
thing when you watch
So
Madrid
so so
for as long as I
so
have.
sorry, Ahmed. Just to I hope Arsenal go through. It was well deserved last week. It wasn't a fortunate night. It wasn't one of those nights where Madrid could say ifs or buts. There was no ifs or buts. Arsenal
yeah.
were the better
Look,
side, played the
like,
better
like I
football,
said,
was and it was well deserved.
let's save that for the end. I just want to get into the comments before we actually start. Big up Aslam asking where's Beaster. Beaster also has commitments, football commitments. You know, when it's Easter in Cape Town, it's football. Big up
Easter
Gavin.
celebrating Easter.
Yeah. Big up Gavin, COYG, and yeah, we'll get into it as well. But I love your positivity about Arsenal, Bram. But brother, let's start first with the bad. You know, when they ask you, do you want the bad news or the good news first? Let's start with the bad. And I don't usually start with you, Bram. So let's start
You
with
do
you.
you
And
tend to start with me often,
no, I don't.
but it's
I
fine. It's
don't.
fine. We
I
can
actually
go
say
there. We
I
can
actually save it
no.
for
We can
last.
go there.
The show usually starts positive and then you bring the negativity. Me and you are usually the negative ones. But you know how your mom always used to tell you, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. I'm not angry at Spurs, I'm disappointed because
Mm.
I actually had you guys in the top four. Warren, I was on Arsenal Cape Town in the beginning of the season, and you guys asked me who's my top four. I had Spurs in my top four, and I'm actually disappointed, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you got a fat load to say. Bram, break down Sunday's match for me, and it's not only just one match. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could say about Ange. But give me your thoughts first about how your season has been going, and yeah, just give me your thoughts.
I don't know. I don't, I don't
Itching.
know. I don't know. I don't know if you are being sarcastic or if you're
No, I'm
if you're
honest.
being a
I'm
true
being
host.
honest.
Look, there's no denying the fact it's been poor. It's been it's uh, it's too easy to blame Daniel Levy. I feel like normally I would blame him. It's too easy to blame him. It's too easy to blame the board, etc. Blah blah blah. It's. I just think he's out of his depth.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I just think he's way out of his depth. I think that he underestimated the Premier League, and I think that why I'm disappointed with him is when you look, you can be stubborn. You can stick to your philosophy. You can stick to your ways. But when you realize um, this is not what this is not it's not going to work this way. You have to adapt. You have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible. This guy's not flexible in his ways.
mm,
He's just not. He's just not. He's relentless. He's stubborn. And yeah, I don't want. Do you know what? I can't see anybody coming to Spurs to manage them, let alone players. I can't see anybody worth their salt coming to coach this club, take over the helmet, this team. And that's the sad thing. We're gonna go to the Fulham coach who no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
mm,
But that's
Um
that. Sorry, Bram. That's the other
yeah.
question. If you do let Ange go, what manager is there that could come in and say, because like when me and Warren spoke just before the show, before you jumped on, we were like, we don't think the players is bad. We don't
mm.
think the
No,
players is bad. But like,
no, no,
who
no.
do you get if you say Ange out tomorrow? Who is there that's gonna come in and shake and change the mentality of this team?
Benedict McCarthy.
Listen, look,
Donald Duck. I think Donald Duck can do a better job than Ange.
Wow, for real.
yeah, probably Pizza Musimani. Listen, like real talk now, jokes aside, I think
Mm,
I'm being serious.
the only person worth his sanity would be Pochettino.
mm,
I don't think there's anybody. When I said there was two people I would take to take control of Spurs, right? It was a couple of seasons ago before Postecoglou was assigned. And I said I would take Eddie Howe or Brandon Rogers were my choice. And I said purely if Brandon Rogers. I remember I was attacked by Beaster, not Beaster, sorry, by
Benny.
Brandon Rogers. I said because Brandon Rogers' track record in his first season, everywhere he goes, he gets a team and changes them. That's all we wanted at the time. Was to come away from the fossil football of Conte and Mourinho, and I felt that Rogers was the guy to make an immediate turn because I've never followed Postecoglou. Okay, this guy came within 10 games. eh, Not everybody, probably not you, one, but I'm talking about most people that we associated with. The only exception was myself and Davy that said this is going to crash. This is going to crash. You're not going to get away with this kind of football. It's great, it's swashbuckling. Even the most hated Spurs fans were saying, guys, look, you really need to listen, give this guys. Spurs are doing well, they're playing great, they're worth watching. Cool, great. And then I said, this is not going to work. Somewhere this is going to explode, it's going to explode horribly. And lo and behold, 12 months down the line, here we're sitting. It has exploded.
Mm.
Spurs will not win a game for the rest of the season. And I'm being honest, I don't think they can buy or win. The only way they're going to get 3 points if the opposition don't turn up.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what's scary, Bram? Like, if those bottom three teams weren't as horrible as they've been, you guys could have actually been in a relegation battle.
Sure, we would
Like,
have.
I think you guys have like 17 defeats or 14 defeats. I don't know. I stand on the
17
correction.
losses.
17 out of 19.
Is it 17? No,
Out
17.
of the last 19 games, 17.
That is worrying, actually.
That is
Warren,
relegation stats, eh?
that is relegation. Warren, what is
And,
your thoughts on
yeah,
it?
go ahead, you
Right?
guys.
I know you've been, I
Sorry?
know you are loving it, of course, because I know your feelings about Spurs, but I mean, come on, like, this is a big six team.
Yeah. I mean, the first 6 months when Ange came in, I thought it was, and I'm sure the Spurs guys will agree, he was playing an exciting brand of football, and he was getting the guys. He brought in quite a few sort of unfamiliar faces that turned out to be quite good, very good. And I thought, okay, this guy's building a new team, yeah. But then things started going a bit pear shape, and I think his tactics, like he wants to just play all out attack, and but that just means I mean, it's just too open. That's the start of the problem.
I
Number
know.
one, they're too open. You can't be that open. You can still play your sexy football. It's fine. Jurgen Klopp did that as well. But you got to balance it out. You got to have like your midfield's got to protect your centre backs. I mean, this is a guy that played a high line with 9 men. Now, unless you're playing a TV game, then it's fine. But in real life, and then I thought, okay, you know what? Don't be harsh. Maybe it's a once-off thing. Let's just give it another game or week or month or whatever. But what really shocked me, and this is what I was referring to earlier, what shocked me was I think the press was kind of asking because they kept on conceding goals from set pieces. I just, you can see it's very good individual defenders. I mean, Van de Ven, Romero, individually, they're very good. Who's the other fullback? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oro, I know
Dogie or
Dogie.
something.
Yeah,
Or,
Destiny.
yeah. So individually, if you look at the highlights reel, they all look good. Those are the type of players that look good on the highlights package. But you can see this, Oaks are not practicing on Monday till Friday on the practice field. You can see that you don't need to be a doctor, technician, or whatever. You can see after 5 minutes, these guys are not practicing defending. So when the press asked Ange, sorry, well, oh, your set pieces, you look vulnerable from that, bloody, bloody, blah. And then he said, oh no, I'm just not that interested in defending set pieces. And he meant that. He wasn't joking or being sarcastic. He meant that. And I thought, what is this guy took? Okay, that's like a year ago now. And the problem is still there. They're still completely way too open. He wants to play this one-way track of football. And I think what that results in is you actually Spurs could beat. I mean, they could beat. The Real Madrid tonight. If I'm saying hypothetically, they that type of team, they can beat Real Madrid or Barcelona tonight, and then on Sunday they'll lose to Leicester 2-0. You just don't know what team is going to pitch, but the reason is It's because the manager is setting him up as if defending is just not that important. And I think he's when you lie and there's a spider's web and you actually forgot what you lied about 6 months. So you got to cover you got to remember now. I got to be consistent with the previous lie. Otherwise, they actually catching him out in the press. Now he's falling out with players. He's falling out with his own fans. I mean, you're the manager of Tottenham, one of the biggest clubs in England, in Europe, and you're falling out with their own fans. I mean, this is the same people you're going to call on to carry over the line now in the
You
Europa League. I mean,
true.
what is this guy doing?
The thing is, right, when he came, there was a thing about he united the fans, he brought the fans, we're in
Yeah,
love with the game, etc. Blah blah blah. I mean, after we beat Sheffield United in injury time, they were doing a lap of honor around the stadium, and this was like a game 7 of the
yeah,
season.
yeah. I
And
remember.
I was, you know, I was the only Spurs fan that watched this one. I don't know. I don't think there was many. And like I said, me and Dev, we were on the pod, and I said, Dev, this ain't gonna last. I've seen this movie before.
Mm,
But it was probably if you talk about the pressing football, and a couple of weeks ago, it was one of the shows. Sorry, a couple of months ago, Skulls, Roy Keane, Gerard, different shows. Same week said the arc the man that took the pressing football and excelled in it was not Jurgen Klopp. It was more Pochettino at Spurs. There was no better team for 2 seasons in England than Spurs. They didn't win the league, but there was no more exciting team. There was no more organized team in England than Spurs. Klopp then excelled in it, and then from there on, everybody Spurs then went backwards.
yeah,
You Um, when he said the thing about set pieces, why should I practice it? I've only considered 3 goals, but the 3 games that we lost with set piece goals. And where I lost faith in him was there was 2 games. He changed style of football. We played very defensive football and we won the games. He was so annoyed with the players, and I think the players did that themselves, disobeying his instructions, that he dropped certain players just because they wouldn't follow his instructions. That is where I was like, this guy's finished.
yeah.
Finished in English football. Um, Look, he would probably do well in Germany with the German side, in the Netherlands, but I don't think English football is for him. And that's
Like I mean, none
because
of us have heard of him before he came to Spurs. Like I'm in a live, I say I knew who Ange Postecoglou
nah,
was
nah, no
before
clue
he
this
came to
guy was.
Spurs.
I
So
didn't.
like
Same.
So, so
for me, it's like the recruiting alone is like, how do you look at somebody's track record and be like, okay, you are good enough for a club, quote unquote, as big as Spurs? How do you look at his track record and say, okay, whatever this guy has done is good enough to take Spurs to a level of where he needs to be? That is what I don't
I'll tell you
understand.
where I'll tell you where it all fallen flat. Again, Daniel Levy, I can see it's clear. He made this guy promises. He made this guy promises of all sorts. And when it came to transfers, Levy showed him that at the end of the day, I'll tell you who I sign. If I make 5 signings, you get one, and I sign 4. Spurs have got 7 youngsters, probably some of the best youngsters in European football on their books as on loan elsewhere. 7 players that the likes of Arsenal, Madrid, Barcelona were chasing. Bayern Munich, Spurs beat them to the signings of these players. And that's not what he wanted. He wanted mature players that are going to play. Daniel Levy signed for the future. And I think that's where he realized, what have I done coming here to this football club? And that's why I say I don't think anybody in their right mind will come to Spurs after this episode now. The Conte thing was bad. Now I can't see us. We're gonna end up with Ryan Mason probably being our coach next year.
Like I mean, if I must compare, right now, I know that is, I mean, like the Chelsea and the Spurs team, and Chelsea's always beating Spurs and stuff. But if I look at the Spurs players, there's no that group of players. Okay, there are 1 or 2 that you got to get rid of, but the balance of them, There's no way that there should be where they now? 50 or 14th
15th,
or
yeah.
there's no way in hell they should.
We
In
we
100%.
actual fact, I would
we don't
almost
even know.
say I would
And I
almost
We
say
said
don't
that
even know
Chelsea
here
must
anyway.
be
I
there.
said that to Bram on
I
Sunday.
think
I said
Chelsea
that to
must
Bram
be in
on
the
Sunday.
second page. If I must look at just the names on the team sheet, I think Chelsea must be on the second page
Mm,
and Spurs must be on the first page. And like
mm,
I said, I mean the buying. I'm not sure who is involved with Levy and the buying. Okay, I don't know, but I mean, so whoever the personnel is, it's still the manager's job to. He still has to like coach them of how do you defend as a unit. Like they look at those
Exactly.
goals on when Sunday they lost to Wolves. I mean, it's clear as daylight. The manager's not spending any time with his Oaks defensive units. Like defending,
mm,
he's more interested in fan defend, running the like Ben Johnson, the sprint race up the field. How about defending? How
mm.
about practicing defending, you idiot? Why don't you
Yeah,
get your back four and let
and
him practice defensive
and
drills so that he can, not concede first and then you build it
Mm.
up from there? You know where I saw
And
this
I'm
guy's
our
mistake?
our
The
attacking
first
side
time I
doesn't even
saw
let.
this guy's mistake, right? Last season away to Wolves, they 1-0 up. Spurs are 1-0
mm,
up. The board goes up 9 minutes injury time because someone got injured there. The game
Yeah,
is done and dusted. Brennan Johnson scored early. Coasting, there's no threat from Wolves. It's now into the 9 minutes injury time. Spurs are bombing forward with like five attacking Oaks, like almost like they. I'm watching this. I'm thinking, doesn't this manager know of a word called game management? Doesn't he
Mm.
understand that? Just manage the game for the next. No, they bombing with 5 Oaks up front with Son and whoever. They ended up losing the game 2-1. I
we
mean,
lost to
that's when I
one.
just
But
saw now. This guy, man,
Ajax
this guy's
kicked
got
the
no
ball
idea
out
what
to the
he's doing.
line, and they took a throw in, and then they were all standing sleeping on the halfway line. Our defense was on
mm.
the halfway line.
No, it's just crazy. I mean, that is, I don't know. The manager's he's got to take control
You
there.
can
If
play
he's
a
not the
high line, but you
captain,
need to know how to defend as well. And I think like when you speak of like with bosses, look, we play a high line, but we
Mm,
know how to defend. Everybody tracks back. If there's a
mm,
break, you're gonna find 4 or 5 men there.
mm,
So I think
The problem
that's
is,
the
Ahmed,
problem.
if you look when we track back, Spurs will have 8 players behind the ball, and then ball will still go through them and score. It's because
mm.
they don't know where to go. They just all run backwards, but nobody knows
Perfect.
where
Perfect
to go
example was
exactly.
perfect
I
example was the
sorry,
Cunha
Dave.
goal over the weekend, Bram. The
Sorry,
Cunha
Yes,
Dave.
goal was the
Quickly,
perfect.
yes, that was the
listen.
perfect. That's perfect example.
The last week there was three times Madrid Arsenal. Madrid breaks 5v3. Arsenal have 3 players, only 3 players, other side of the halfway line. 3 players facing, not facing Cunha and Stromsgaard or Callum Wilson or Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, um, Valverde, and somebody else. Listen to the names. 3 Arsenal defenders, just 3. Not once did they beat those 3. 3. Spurs had 8 players behind the ball. Who scored 2 of the goals were with 8 people behind the ball, and one was the one-on-one where Cunha scored.
Mm.
That's the difference. Like Warren said, do they not know when we defend how to defend? Like where do you run? How do you block the ball? Who goes where? Because
And
you
I
know what
think
his mantra is. His mantra is, I'm going to, if you score 2, I'll score 4, and I'll
Mm,
outplay you.
mm,
What's happening now is we can't even score a goal. We can't even
mm,
create a chance. The
but
thing
that's
that
the questions that you ask
the
yourself,
very thing
bro.
that must come out now is his ethos on his football is attack and play us out of this rut. He can't even get his football. That's where you know it's done. It's finished. That
mm.
the players are no longer doing the things that is the very thing that is supposed to save him. It's not happening.
So just before we get on to Arsenal and Madrid, so you think even if he should win Europa, do you think he's gone?
We're not going to win it. There's not a chance. Now, if we get to the final, you get to the final. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. I know you're beating Madrid, but it doesn't mean that you're getting the Champions League,
Yeah.
right? If you get to the final, I think Spurs will get to the final.
I hope. I hope you're right.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone Friday morning. He's fired. There's nothing to play for. There's nothing stopping them firing him on Friday if we lose and put Ryan Mason in charge. We're not going to finish higher. We're probably not going to finish lower. So you might as well put an interim coach in, and they'll probably try and work out something with the USA to say, listen, can Poch do both?
Do you
Hmm.
think he's
Because
lost
you
the dressing room?
long time
I
ago,
think yes.
a
No, no.
long
Long
time
time.
ago.
Long time.
'Cause I'm hearing
Ramirez
about
gone.
this spy in the dressing room and all this nonsense.
There is things to come out with because he knows the writing's on the wall. So you know what he's doing? He's protecting himself
Hmm.
with these kind of stories. Ramiro's gone, number one. All right? Ramiro's gone. Second player that is gone is Destiny Doggy, the left back. You don't last year the first 10, 15 games, I don't think there was a better left back in the Premier League than him.
Hmm.
There's probably five other left backs that's bypassed him in this past year.
Yeah.
Those two are for certain gone. Um, more to follow. I think Van der Ven will give Spurs one more season before he decides to trek as well. But Ramiro's gone, and yeah, and Doggy's
Yes.
gone.
Fair enough. But let's come on to the big one. Ahmad, you've
Yes.
beaten Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Obviously, you know what it is. You've beaten them in the cup, or you've thrashed them. As a
But they
Barcelona
haven't won
fan
me this season. They
who
haven't won me
watches La
this season.
Liga religiously week in, week out, how should Arsenal approach this game tomorrow night? And just based on what you've seen and how do you think we can do it? Because at the end of the day, it is still Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. They still have
It
that
is
aura.
Real Madrid
I've
at the
seen them
Bernabeu.
coming out with videos, motivational videos. They're gonna close the roof, but in my opinion, rice cooks best with the lid closed. So give me,
Ah,
give
yes,
me,
we've
give
seen
me,
that.
give me your opinion, bro.
Look, I've said it to everybody that has asked me, and I told them a lot of things. First, you look at the factor of I'm not going to take away what Arsenal has done to beat Real Madrid 3-0 because it takes it's a very difficult thing to do. But if you look at it, you had two freaky goals, the amount of chances you had, and you only finished basically one of it. The score should have been way more.
It should have
With
been more.
with a way well,
Yeah.
so take that into consideration and take in consideration that if you guys are gonna sit back, you're gonna lose. If you're not gonna score one more goal, you're gonna lose. 3-0 is not enough against Madrid. Madrid is this type of team. The way you've seen them play against you, they get dominated 90% of the time. The last 10 minutes, they will come and score three goals. That is that is Madrid. So if you're not gonna assert the dominance early on in the game, because you can control that game. You can control the game for 70 minutes. But if you're not scoring, you're gonna lose that game.
Mm,
Because the talk is about remontada and all of this. Unfortunately, they have done it every single time. They have yet to prove me wrong. They've yet to prove everybody else wrong. If we don't kill them early, that is why Barca won. We killed them early. Four is too
mm,
much for Madrid. Three is still doable. They can
mm,
score three from the 80th minute onwards. Even if they lead 1-0 the first half, second half, the game's done. You
mm.
need to score early, assert the dominance, get the fourth goal, and then play it out from there. Because
I
then they're not
disagree.
going to
I
come
think we're
back.
talking about Madrid for the past 4 or 5 years, not Madrid in 2025.
Yeah, but Madrid, if you go look at the
Madrid,
games of the
Ronaldo,
previous games,
Benzema,
if you look at
Cruz,
the previous,
Modric, a younger, I would say
look at
yes.
look at the
But
previous comebacks.
that's
Look
what
at the
I'm
last year
thinking
comebacks.
also, Bram. Because they haven't been the same this year, though. That's not the same Madrid that you
Yeah,
just
it's not.
mentioned now.
It's
That have come.
it's it's
No, it's
not.
not
It's
the
not
same,
the
but it's just
Ronaldo, Benzema. It's not Isco. It's not that they don't have creativity as such in their
look
team.
at the remontadas that
Where
they've done or the comebacks that they've done in the past. All of those games, they were nowhere in the game. Madrid was nowhere in the game. That is what you guys should look at. Madrid's nowhere in the game. Then suddenly, 80th minute come and it's like there's 11 new players on the pitch. That same players shows a different type of football. It's crazy to see because it's happened last season.
again,
It happened the season
I've
before.
last season and the season before, it's not the same players.
They didn't even have Mbappe.
Yeah,
But
but
I
they
think
were
that's the
more of a
problem. They've
team.
got
They were
Mbappe
more of a
now.
team than what they are now. They're more of a team than that. I don't think. I think people are getting carried away when Madrid just needs that one, that one, that one.
I
It's
think it's I
if
think if you've
Arsenal
seen it
listen,
too many
if
times,
Arsenal are going to throw Bring him somebody down in the box in the first 5 minutes. Yes, Madrid's going to get a penalty. Then the crowd's behind them. 20 minutes into the game and it's 0-0 and Madrid have not had a chance in now. There's no way Arsenal all of a sudden going to roll over and say, oh, well, we're at the Bernabeu. We might as well go 3-3 and play extra time. It's not going to happen.
I'm
It's not
telling
going
you,
to
my
happen.
brother. When
Listen.
it's happened too many times, you can't see it as hype anymore.
Yeah, but they
I've
haven't
seen
played
it
this
happen
Arsenal team.
way too many times.
They haven't played this Arsenal team. And there was Ronaldo was in that team. Then there's no Ronaldo. Mbappe isn't the Ronaldo.
All I'm
So
telling you, I've seen it happen way too many times in the past
I
season,
don't
in
disagree with
this
you. I just
season.
don't think. Warren, what do you think?
Warren,
What do
what do
you
you
think?
think,
Don't
Warren?
get lackluster. I hate Madrid. I don't want him to win. Believe me, there's 30,000 Barca fans who bought Declan Rice shirts, and I'm probably going to be one of them. I don't want this team to win. I hate this team with a passion, but don't get lackluster. Whatever you're hearing about, it's Bernabeu, it's Madrid. It is that because they've proven it year in, year out, game out. They're not the best. Listen to what I'm telling you. They're not the best. They're not the best team. They don't play the best football. They have the players, but that is how Madrid operates. That's most of the comebacks have been. They don't play the best football. They're not the greatest team on the pitch on the night, and then suddenly everybody's in shock. How, where, what happened? It
Warren,
happens. I still don't know how, but it
Warren, how
happens.
do you feel? Look, I concur with both Bram and Ahmad. Where do you stand on it? How do we approach this game? Are you a bit worried
Yeah,
about tomorrow night? Because, look, at the end of the day, the only time we have conceded, the last time we conceded 3 goals was 2 years ago, and that was against Luton Town, and that was two years 2 years ago. We have a good one thing, and I can say, as shit as we are up front, and we've had our problems up front, we do have a good defense. I think our defense is one of our strengths. So, how do you
yeah.
feel about that, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you say one of our strengths, that our defense is our strength. I think I
Mm,
said at the beginning of the season, if we are going to win a trophy, it's not going to be because of our attack, it'll be because of our defenders. I mean, the Real Madrid
yeah.
team, I heard someone, I mean, I can't take credit for this. Someone else said it, and I thought it sums it up perfectly. Play the team and not the reputation.
Mm,
Play
mm,
the team and not the
100%.
reputation. I looked at their game, like the Liverpool final a few years ago, the Chelsea comeback, the Man City comeback. Um, they like vultures. They'll prey. Bayern Munich away. Bayern should have beaten them last year in the semi final.
Mm,
The goalkeeper of all people, that Manuel Neuer, totally just gave them the bloody goal. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about great comebacks and great things at the Bernabeu. They've been vultures for the past couple of years. They which are very good at, and you got to give them
mm,
that credit. They're clinical, but they do have players like that. I mean, the final against Liverpool battered them in the final. But unfortunately for Liverpool, they've got maybe one of the worst right backs ever in Trent Arnold. Chelsea showed a lack of experience, and so did Man City in those closing stages. And you could see Real Madrid with players like the Benzema and Modric. That's when those experienced players come alive. But they come alive if you give them a chance to. And I think we've
mm,
got players that have played at World Cups, Euros, big stadiums, big tournaments against big players as well. So we actually do maybe not so much in the Champions League. I think last year's experience helped us out a hell of a lot when we lost to Bayern. I
mm,
think it was a
100%.
huge learning curve. I think we learned a hell of a lot just to be a bit mature. You don't have to win the game in the first 5 minutes.
Mm,
You can take your time and they've got to ask we ask them the questions. They must come with the answers. And you're gonna think I'm being overconfident in it. I fancy us to win tomorrow. You're gonna
same,
think I'm being a
same,
bit
yeah,
too
same.
boastful, and I'm gonna go back
I
to
don't
Ahmad's
blame you.
team.
I
I'm gonna
agree.
go back to Ahmad's team that beat Madrid 4-0 early on at the
Mm.
Bernabeu. If you ask me how should we play the game, that is how we must play the game.
That exactly
You
like
kill
that.
them.
Close
I'm
the
saying you kill
spaces.
them
You
early.
can when you need to defend, you defend. So you close the spaces. Don't get no own goals, no silly errors, and then you hit them on the counter,
Mm.
and then you hit them on the counter. Because their defense is nowhere near good enough. Nowhere
They
near
have
good enough.
one good
They've
defender, which
proven
is Asensio, which is actually he's a brilliant defender.
now
Um,
those
but
those
that's
defenders
about
of
it.
theirs, similar to Spurs, is a common thread there. Individually, Rudiger, very good. What did I tell you last week?
Mm.
Individually good,
Good,
but
yeah.
as a
Collective.
collective, very poor, very,
Mm.
very poor, and they've been found out. It took one team to find them out. Thank you, Barcelona, and the deck of
Mm.
cards have come crumbling down. So you deny
Look,
them that,
look,
and you
we
give them a goal to threaten.
you know
But that brings out the next question: if you're going to now play more on the counter, do you still play with Marino as a centre forward? Because if you're playing counter football, you can't exactly have I call it a slow centre forward. I don't know, but maybe maybe Arteta knows more than me. Yes,
Nah,
Garlic.
look,
Garlic must be keeper tomorrow.
look. To be honest with you, Warren, I actually like Marino in the number 9 right now.
Yeah,
It's a
I
surprising
think
role, but it's somehow been working. It's
it's
surprising
been
that it's
working,
been
and
but you
I
know
have
what I
been
mean
working.
watching.
in the
It's
context
very well.
of playing counter attack football. It's different if you
Mm.
build.
Fold
That's
and back,
fine,
yeah.
but that's a totally different game to if you think someone on the counter. That's totally different.
what I think one of the strengths of Arsenal is like I know earlier mentioned Warren, you mentioned that Arsenal have had guys that have played in World Cups and big tournaments. So obviously, if you look on the other side, they're the guys that won World Cups. They're the guys that have won Copa Americas, won the Euros. So
Yeah,
they've won more than what the guys on the other side of Arsenal have
yeah,
won.
yeah, for sure.
But in Declan Rice, you probably have, and this is what I tried to tell David 2 years ago, even when he was at West Ham, he's probably the best central defensive midfielder in the world. And I think at Arsenal now, his game has gone next level, right?
You are right. I hold my
Um,
hands up. I was proved wrong about that
I
one.
think, I think, I think Thomas Partey and him complement each other well. I just hope Odegaard doesn't go and try to prove a point because he's going there with Arsenal
Oh,
3-0 up,
don't get Warren
right?
started. Don't get Warren
Oh
started on
my
the
Um,
flirter.
goodness.
um,
Don't get Warren
but
started on the
but
flirter.
but like Warren, like you said, Arsenal probably win, and you're being boastful. I don't think you are. I think, look, even Spurs beat Madrid in the Champions League before with
Mm.
Ronaldo and all the stars. We beat them, and it's not uncommon for you to go out there tomorrow night and win the game because, like I said, yes, if you give away a set piece goal or you make a mistake, one of your midfielders lose the ball and Mbappe is 1-on-1 or Vinicius Junior and he slots the ball in, then you're asking for trouble then. But
Mm.
I think after 20, 25 minutes, if it's still 0-0, Declan Rice is English. And if we look at the track record of England, even him at the Euros, he grows as the game keeps going on and on and
Mm.
on and on. And I think he will single handedly combat that Madrid midfield tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Mm.
You've got
yeah.
in Saliba. Argue with me that he's not probably now, if people don't give him credit as being one of the top 3 centre backs in world football, then you obviously it's the same like in South Africa. Unless if he don't play for Chiefs or Pirates or Sundowns, then we don't rate him. Just because
Mm.
he's not playing for Madrid, Barca, or Man City, people don't give Saliba the credit. He has proven not now, but for the past 2 years, he's probably one of the best 3 centre backs in world football.
Mm.
Right? So
I would agree.
Arsenal have got world class in certain areas of their field. They've got some world class players. Give them their due.
Mm.
You know, in Saka, they've got world class player playing there on the right hand side tomorrow night. So I think Arsenal have got enough to get through this. Arsenal have got enough. I mean, there's not a team. They're not a team. They're a bunch of individuals. So yeah, I
Timber.
think I think
We
I
got
think the
Tumba
one I
also.
think the I
Tumba's
think
been
the one
outstanding.
person the one person you need to be scared of tomorrow night is Vinny Junior at down. He's the one I think
I
that
hate
will
him
that will
with a
turn the game
passion.
around.
His attitude stinks.
He's the
He
one
looks
I think
so
that
That
can
is
turn the
stupid.
game
stinks, man. He's
around
horrible.
for
He's
them
horrible, man.
tomorrow night is him.
Look, he's a
Yeah.
Because
brilliant
if you
footballer.
look at the Champions League victories of the past 2 seasons, in
That's
the
him.
games where they out like there's nothing in it for them, he's the one that pulls him out. Remember
He
the City
sparks the
game?
attack.
He
Mm.
killed City, and then the rest
Mm.
of them grew in the game. He's the one
Mm.
that will ignite tomorrow night. He's
Yeah,
the one I
but
think that
Tumba,
you need
I'm
to
hoping Tumba will do his due
Look,
diligence. Before I
I
come
have
on to
no doubt.
prediction,
I have
did
no
you
doubt that
did you
Arsenal
guys?
wins tomorrow.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Ahmad. Did you guys see the Mbappe challenge over the weekend?
Did you see what they gave him? One match ban for
One
that
match,
challenge.
yeah. For that challenge, they gave him a one match. I wish.
Liver got three, four worse.
Exactly. Did you see it, Warren?
That
No,
was
I
probably
didn't. I
one
just
of
saw like
the
a
most
picture of
horrendous
it
challenges I've
or
seen, bro.
some.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see anything of it.
Hey, Florentino's
I'll
really
send
doing
it,
his work, eh?
I'll send it to you guys. So I'll go around
Can, can I
predictions.
can I
Come on.
can I can
Go
I
ahead,
can I
go ahead
can I
first.
ask? Can I have a question for you and Warren? Um,
Of course.
in terms of tomorrow night game plan wise, would you play Trossard or Martinelli?
Martinelli.
Martinelli for sure. Yo.
I've
Warren.
got a different theory on that though. You know what mine is, Davy?
Go ahead.
Mine is
What's yours?
slightly controversial. I would play
Go
both,
ahead.
and I would put Marino where Odegaard is, and I'll chuck Odegaard to the bench.
That is actually not a bad idea.
Hey, don't laugh. Odegaard's
listen,
been shit. Yeah,
listen,
maybe.
That is
listen.
not a
It's
bad
not.
idea. No, I can
It's
actually see that working with
yeah,
what Warren has
yeah.
mentioned.
Can from outside perspective, Div,
Mm.
he's not playing well, but
I think that's
when
putting
he's
it
on the field,
mildly. So I
okay,
think
he's
Yeah,
playing
that's
it's
putting
poorly.
it
it's putting it
mildly,
Okay,
bro.
mildly.
listen.
That's
Look,
mild.
Listen,
so,
I'm
Let him
so
playing
get
I think
there.
poorly.
let me explain why. So let me tell you why. Then maybe it'll make sense. If you've been
Yeah,
utter trash for an entire season, that's one. But even worse than that, and Davy, you know where I'm going with this. When when the going gets tough and the pressure's on, and the fans are giving us stick, which they will, then that guy is the first guy to disappear.
He goes
Our
hiding.
captain, Odegaard, is the first. Not only does he hide, he gets substituted. Have you ever seen that in your whole life? I've been watching football. How long now? 40 years. That's 4 decades, bro. In my life, have I never seen a permanent club captain when the going gets tough, you 2-1 down or 2-1 up at Anfield, you're under the cosh, the cop is screaming your head off, and you need your general to lead your troops. Then that idiot is getting substituted away to Newcastle St James's Park second leg Carabao Cup. We 1-0 down, we're chasing it, we need to get back in the game. Take a while, guess who's the first sub? There's a whole half
he
an
got
hour. The only
he
time I
got
saw
he
the
got
man run and the guy ran was when he ran off to go to the bench.
he
I
got
mean, can you
substituted.
be a
The remember
worse captain
the
in your whole
draw
life? Can you
the
ever
draw
see?
at the Emirates, the derby
Have you
draw
ever
as
seen
well.
exactly?
He got
No.
substituted, and
So
we
my
came back in the
problem
game and we drew
is
3-3.
you now,
Yeah.
now you guys are saying about the atmosphere and the Bernabeu and cool. That's fine. That's right. So now you add Odegaard in that mix, and now you will
Mm,
know why I'm worried.
mm.
Now you
Yeah,
will know why I'm worried because we can't
it
carry
does make
a man in that game. We can't play with 10 men tomorrow night. We need 11 men. If we're going to be
Mm,
winning and getting and going through and all these nice words, we can't carry you out
mm,
because we're feeling sorry for him because he's got nice hair and he's our captain. He's got to get his ass in gear. Or
mm.
actually,
Is
he's been
that
so
what you are
putrid.
referring to, Davy? The flick, the air flick.
The hair flicks, yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's why I call him the
He's
hair
been
I
so poor.
wasn't
flirter.
sure. I wasn't
He's been
sure
so
who you were
poor.
referring to.
He needs to be dropped. That guy needs to be dropped. That's
I'm
what,
done with
and
him.
I
But
think we
I'm
need to buy
personally
a
done
new
with
number
him.
he
10.
holds them. He holds them together as poor as he is because of you. It's like I never
I
think
think
like
we
you.
need a new captain. We need a new captain and we need a new number 10 because I think there's better number 10s out there,
Cunha
honestly.
and Eze is there. Carry on, Bram. You were
Uh,
saying?
No, I just think that I know like you guys being Arsenal fans and saying that he's out. It's like me with Son. I've said for years, sell him.
Mm.
He's a substitute. He's a glorified substitute. Um, I can't see the point in having him in the team. And remember, Beaster was the one that said, "But he's your icon. He's your talisman. How
Uh,
can you?" And I've said for years, I've said for the past 2 seasons, I would sell him. I'll take the whatever money came my way for Son, I would let him go.
what do you think about him
Um,
being captain? Sorry to break your word there. Do you think that was a good move or not a good move?
teams with Odegaard as being captain, they're just not leaders. The team,
mm.
how you know one of the reasons why I'm so uninspirational is because Son plays like he's got gout. Like kicking a football hurts him. Um, He loses the ball. He doesn't shoot the way he used to shoot. I mean, I was watching. There's a TikTok clip when it says it's called, it's basically like the end is near, and it has him from when he came to Spurs, and it's got a piece of where um the Pochettino like blatantly came out to the press to say he's looking for a club for this guy he can go, and the only reason he stayed at Spurs was just before the transfer window closed. Kane got injured, and we had no striker. It was too late to find a striker. He played, and then he got the double against Middlesbrough away, and from there on, he stayed at Spurs. So that's the only reason that it was a stroke of luck that he's still been there 10 years later.
Can I answer
Um,
your earlier question about who you take as a Spurs manager if Ange gets fired? Can I tell you, if I was Daniel Levy, if I was in charge of Spurs, you know what I would go for?
Harry Redknapp,
No,
who
not Pochettino. I'd grow
Oh,
a pair of bulls and I'd go for Jurgen Klopp.
But no, look. Obviously, I would go for Klopp, but he won't. There, nobody
the
in their
thing
right
is,
mind will come to that club. Nobody in their right
I don't
mind will
think
take it.
Klopp will come. Klopp said he will
Nah, he
only manage
won't.
the only club he will
He
manage in
says
England.
that, man. They all say that,
Uh,
and then if you put the money on the table, he will go. Maybe
uh,
not right
Look,
now,
mm.
but
Doesn't
next
Zinedine
season.
nobody
Zidane like
thought
not have
Jose
a club?
Mourinho would ever coach Tottenham Hotspurs. No one thought
Exactly,
that.
Exactly.
Javi, you
exactly.
guys can take
Exactly.
Javi.
Exactly.
And
That's
and
exactly what I
Levy
was
Javi at least
saying.
went.
got me a league. As bad as
Levy
Javi
went.
was, at least he got me a league.
Levy went. Opened the checkbook,
Yeah,
and he tempted him, right? Because remember, every coach that goes to Spurs comes away there rich.
yeah.
Antonio
Mm.
Conte, nobody thought he would ever manage Spurs either. So he came. So what I'm just saying is, I would obviously love him, and I didn't want to say it earlier. I mean, if we could get him, obviously I'll take him to manage the team. But
I think he would go.
um,
Honestly, I'm not being sarcastic, Davey. I actually mean that. I think if you think about Spurs, they're quite a good prospect. The stadium, the media center, the training facilities. They pay
and
the
I think that
managers well.
the young
Young
players that
players, the
Spurs have
style of
got
football the fans want as well. I
would
think he would
appeal
go
I
to.
there.
know, but the thing is, I think the love that Klopp got by Liverpool and the person he is, I don't think
Yeah, I
he
don't
would
think
ever
he'll
want to coach
do.
another
Yeah.
I
team.
think
Listen,
Another
listen,
that love is
David,
team.
gone
David,
now, brother. That love is
David,
dead now.
That's the thing. I know.
David. The same
But I
thing,
get,
the same thing went with Mourinho. What
yeah, but
he had
Mourinho's
at
a snake.
Chelsea. No, but Mourinho, listen, he turned that club from. I mean, I was there. I watched that club from when they were nothing. That was the Santos of Cape Town. They were Santos of Cape Town. They were nothing, right? And then all of a sudden the money came, and then there they went, and then he transferred that club into something special.
Mm.
Ever him to see him at Spurs, you never would have thought that was ever going to happen, ever in a
Mm.
million years.
Look, I agree with
You
Warren.
know,
Money talks,
money
bullshit
talks,
walks.
money
Yeah.
talks. If Spurs change their sponsorship tomorrow to Adidas, guess who will be the coach? It'll be him.
Mm, you never know.
Yeah.
So prediction, guys. Arsenal, Real Madrid. I know Ahmad's game is going to be on now, but his game is virtually done already. I don't know why
Mine
even
is
it's
done. I'm just watching I'm just watching my team finish off the job there, so no
yeah.
worries.
Just finish off. Ahmad, prediction for Real Madrid, Arsenal.
I think Arsenal goes through. Final score for tomorrow night's game is going to be like 2-1. I think
Okay.
Madrid's going to try and fight.
Okay.
Cannot give them, but I think Arsenal's got it.
2-1
Warren,
to Arsenal or
Madrid,
2-1 to
Madrid.
Madrid.
2-1 to Arsenal. I think Arsenal gets the
Oh,
job done.
wow.
I
Okay.
think Arsenal gets the
Warren,
job.
So you're not saying that they're going to come anymore. Madrid's going to come and it's going to be tough. Because
Look,
2-1's not tough.
in the back of my mind, that's gonna happen. But like I'm telling you, what I want. What I want is a 2-1 Arsenal. What I feel. But if Arsenal's not
Yeah.
gonna score early,
mm.
then obviously. But
Look at the end
2-1
of the
Arsenal.
day, if they score early, it's squeaky bum time, eh? If they score within that first 15 minutes,
Yay!
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
not
Yay!
that's
let's
what I'm
not you
saying.
know, let's not hide from
Mm,
that fact.
And how they're going to score also. The type of goal
Mm.
they're going to score.
The type of
If they
goal as
carve you
well.
Because
open,
remember,
they're going to come.
They are known for Vardred for a reason.
Exactly.
That's
That
all I'm
also
gonna
Ah,
very
say.
yeah, yeah,
true.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
we've been
True.
burnt as well many a time. Warren, your
What are
prediction?
your prediction?
Yeah. I fancy us to win tomorrow. I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal.
Mm.
I think we can hit
I'm
him on
going
the
1-0, and
counter.
that's why I'm wearing this. I'm reliving the ghost. I'm bringing back the ghost of Henri at Bernabeu 1-0. Ram,
I'm going to go 3-2 Madrid, but Arsenal to win the tie.
Jesus Christ, you almost want me to stress my head. But
Listen,
it can happen.
listen. Arsenal have the nucleus is the set pieces.
Mm,
Um, and also with their set pieces, they are extremely dangerous. Um, and 3-0 up, you Arsenal know one goal. Every time they get a goal, they're taking it further and further away from Madrid.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, I'll say Madrid 3-2 on the night, but Arsenal to win the tie.
Okay, so no more. We got about 10 minutes left, so we've already established Arsenal going through. Boss is virtually through. We don't need to get around that. Who would you guys say are the favorites for the Champions League? First and foremost, let me start with semi-final. Villa or PSG? Ahmad, who's going through?
I would love Villa to go through,
Aston Villa too. I would love them to go through.
but I
That's
just
why I
think
want to
PSG
watch
is not
tonight.
enough.
I didn't ask you what you love.
Kvaratskhelia has
I asked
been
you how it's gonna go.
insane. Kvaratskhelia has
A
been
lot of things
insane.
that I love. I'd love my name to be on plated in gold on my toilet seat, but that's not gonna happen now, is it?
You can't put Devi in the levy.
But yeah, okay. Look, I would also love a 2-0. I would also love a 2-0 for Villa.
It's PSG. It's
And it goes to
definitely
extra
PSG.
time. I think it goes to extra time. Aston Villa win the game.
Yeah, I'd love it as well. I'd love it as
Nah,
well.
PSG's got
I think I
Um,
think I think I think PSG are through. Passes through. PSG's through.
Inter
Um,
goes through.
what about Inter and
that's
Bayern?
That's
I'm
the
going for
team I'm
Bayern to
scared of.
win.
I'm not scared of PSG. I'm not scared of Bayern. I'm scared of Inter. I don't want to face Inter.
Inter's a bit of a dark horse, eh?
Inter is
Mm.
dangerous. Lautaro Martinez. I'm scared of that guy. I'm scared of the hell of that guy.
No, fuck. He's about as good as
My hot
he's
take should
about
have been
as
should have been in the
he's
top
not
three
he's
of
not he's
Ballon
not.
d'Or last
Listen,
season.
I think that guy's overrated. Martinez. He's great, but he's not. I've never
Nah,
seen him kick the world a light.
people don't put too much light on him. That's why.
No, man.
I
If
think
you look at
he
what he
Because they,
accomplished last
probably
season,
he
he's a
probably
good
suits
player, but
Inter's game plan better. He can
mm,
Lukaku was
feed off
hard in
scraps.
Italy.
He doesn't have to.
Lukaku.
He doesn't have to run around the pitch and create things. He just has to be, just in the penalty box and finish
I think
chances,
he got like
almost like
44 goals this last season.
Inzaghi used to do
And he
back in the
won
90s.
league and Coppa
He used to
Italia.
win how many games like that just by being in the penalty box. So their defensive organization, that is what's going to get them through. They're very tight.
They're
They're
very.
better than Atletico Madrid. They're almost like Atletico Madrid with a bit
Mm.
of attacking flair. Some two strikers that can
Pragmatic.
score you goals. But I've got a sneaky feeling of Villa tonight, brother. Up the Villa.
Same.
I'm,
I got
I'm,
a
Same.
sneaky feeling. Yeah.
yeah, I want. I'll Bayern go through.
Can I
Bayern.
tell you why I'm saying Villa tonight? Can I tell you
Why?
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 Because you can't have a keeper that is like Chico the clown that wants to pop balloons on the field. Donnarumma, whatever his name is, he's the
Donnarumma.
biggest
That was
pile of
Donnarumma.
pony I've seen in my life. He
Fuck
can't
you.
catch a fly. I think
Okay.
he needs
Don't you
Mr.
rate?
Miyagi to teach him. He's crap. He's
Don't,
a
don't,
pile of
don't
pony.
you rate him as? Don't you rate him as a keeper?
No,
I
no,
don't. I personally don't. I also don't like Donnarumma. Donnarumma, I
I,
think I can get
I,
in the Champions
I
League.
like David D a
I,
better keeper than him. David D's a better goalkeeper
I,
than him.
no,
No, he's crap.
I
PSG
rate
won't
him.
win this tournament with that goalkeeper. They
I
won't
also
win
don't
this
like.
tournament with that, bro.
I'm with you.
I've,
I've
I've
If
never
we
seen
been.
him
play
play. I've
PSG
seen
in the
him
next
play.
round, Davy, listen here. If we
Mm,
play PSG in the next round, we're gonna beat them. I'll tell you right now. We will
I
beat them.
will.
But what I've seen him play very well for them. There's games where he's played very, very well. And remember, he's
I
very
don't know
young
about
still.
this, bro.
He's
That
still
guy
young.
reminds me of your goalkeeper. What's that brother that play for you? That keeper of
Vicario.
yours? He reminds me of that guy, man.
Vicario.
You somewhat don't know what this guy is. He gonna catch his ball
And
now?
they both
Hey,
he's
They
number
brass
one in
hey,
him
every
a
bottom
game.
line
dive,
is
no? They brass him a dive. The ball's in the air. You must catch it. He's some a dive somewhere, bro. He's like diving in the
no
like a
matter
swimming
how
pool.
That's
bad they
that's
are, they're not worse
Italy's
than
one and
Onana.
two. Number one and
Period.
those two.
No, he's crap. I fancy our
I,
chances against
honestly, Bram,
PSG.
I'm with Warren on that one. I'm not a fan of
Don't you
Donnarumma.
rate
Do
him?
you guys think
Nah,
just quickly, do you
I
guys
don't.
think I need to answer this question? Do you guys think I need to answer this question?
So do you don't miss
Donkey
donkey
guy.
Ooh, jette.
Should I? You all know the answer to that.
Ah,
I think
So,
Marino is better than him as a striker, to be honest. That
I
says
same,
everything
agree.
you need to
I
know.
agree.
Yeah.
same.
Everything you need to
Now
know.
listen, I
So,
hope I well just one thing. The last thing I want to say
sorry.
is that I feel also the Khalib, shut up. Because it's just this stupid stuff, like literally stupid stuff.
Boys, you and
Where's he
Khalid
about?
in the chat.
Where's him and Aslam about the Jesus is going to win Arsenal the league? They signed him. They signed him. But I said to you, what did they sign him for? The press. Is that what Arsenal signed him for?
Please, yeah,
But
I
anyway, we
remember
won't
that.
go
I
back
still
there
have a
again.
clip of that one. Yeah.
The one thing that I like, I've always been a big fan of Martinelli, and I think since he's come back to form, has also brought an added dimension to your game. Remember when he was a bit off form, stagnant with injuries, playing with injuries. Um, Now that he's back fully fit, he's just as effective and dangerous than Saka.
Mm, mm.
I I think that he has been instrumental in this last sort of 10 games for Arsenal.
Who you talking about?
Very Martinelli.
Martinelli. I won't lie. I was
Oh,
nervous when they tackled him like that. That scissor kick over the weekend. I thought, oh my lord, don't let
Yeah,
him go
yeah.
out. I was very, very nervous. And I think that's where we can hurt them tomorrow night. So, Arsenal PSG semi-final. Inter,
Bayern. I'm going
Barca.
Bayern. I'm going
Okay,
Bayern.
you're going Bayern. Who's your final? Let's start there. Who's your final? My
Arsenal
heart is
Bayern.
saying,
It's
my
me and you,
heart is
Devi.
saying, yeah,
It's me
that's
and
what
you,
my heart
Devi.
is saying. That's why I'm
It,
wearing
it
this.
has to be. It has to be.
Arsenal, Barcelona.
Arsenal, Barcelona.
Arsenal
That's what my
Barcelona
heart is
happens,
saying.
Warren. I'll watch that game with you and Devi. See what happens. I'm
That's
coming.
what I want, and I'm looking forward
I'll
to
be
Arsenal,
there. Don't
Barcelona.
worry.
I say, right off Bayern and Kane at your own peril.
Nah, Fizz. Can you hear
Nah, I
that?
think
Write
you're
him
doing
off
too
Yeah,
at
much for Bayern.
write him off at your own peril.
Warren?
yeah. Yeah, my final would also be probably ooh, Arsenal against you know what, eh?
I
That
want
Inter
Barca to
team,
revenge
that
what they
Inter,
did to
I
us in
know, I know, yeah, I
2005.
know, yeah, but I just that Inter team can
Oh,
just make it an ugly
That
game,
Inter team is
and
so
But
dangerous. Like,
they've been known, Warren, to when it
yeah,
comes to that they are the Spurs of Italian football. They falter in big games, then they don't turn up.
mm.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Go look at how many
yeah,
go look at how many Champions League semi-finals they've appeared in the last 15 years.
Oh, there's a lot.
I think
yeah.
they've
There is.
appeared in the most Champions League semi-finals of everybody in the last
Mm.
15
no,
years. And I think they've been to
There's
what 3 finals in 10 years.
three finals also as well, yeah.
They've
but they
not
don't
won
win.
it. They don't win
Mm.
it.
Mm.
I remember Bayern
That's
Yeah.
Munich,
why
they
that's
played Man City as
that's
well.
why
Bayern
I
Munich,
would
Man
I would
City.
yes, they lost to City, they've lost to Bayern in the final. I I
They won it
I
with
think
Mourinho, though.
I'm the thing this final is going to be Arsenal Bayern.
Arsenal Bayern. Oh, Harry Kane.
No.
Harry Kane, that's why he's doing it. I know why he's doing it.
Harry
But
Kane.
Arsenal
I
Bayern.
hear it.
I
Arsenal
don't see
Bayern
Bayern in
and I
hell
think
winning
I
Inter.
think I think that Arsenal wins. If it's Arsenal Bayern in the final, Arsenal win.
The finals at the Munich Stadium, isn't it?
At Munich, it's in Munich.
It's in
31st of
Munich.
May.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Saturday the
guys.
31st of May.
Yeah.
Guys,
But
it's been a blast.
Cool.
it's been awesome. Final thoughts, guys. Why don't we usually do final thoughts? I'll save your Ahmad,
Huh?
give me your final
Uh,
thoughts. Give me your final thoughts. What Ahmad, let's start with Ahmad. Give me your final thoughts about it. Because I
Final.
want you to jump out to go watch your game.
I'm watching it here on the side. I'm not really worried. Um, Final thoughts. I really feel that Arsenal can get the job done. Number one. I feel that Barcelona is flying high. I think Hansi Flick's been brilliant. What he's done for the club, what he's done for the team, what he's changed the mentality. We are
Mm.
completely different side. Appreciate what he's done. I think we went from being in no competition to now in talks of winning a quadruple this season, which is last done since Pep and that Super Barca thing we had. Um, I really think people are sleeping on Inter, um, sleeping on the team that they are. If you watch Italian football, you see how dangerous they can be, how good they are defensively, attackingly as well. So I think if Barca faces Inter in the semi-final, we don't win it. I'm sorry, as good as we are, I don't see I don't see us winning Inter. I cannot.
How not? Why not? You're the best team in Europe right now. How can you
I'm the
not?
best team in Europe. But if
With that
you
front red
watch the
you've got,
way
bro,
Inter,
come on.
if you watch Inter play, it's like I don't know how.
Have you
I'm
seen
scared
your
of it.
attack, bro? You are the favorites
I
for the Champions League, in my opinion.
I don't want to be the favorites. That's too much pressure. I like it when I'm not the favorites. I
Okay,
like it when
say
I'm
no
not the
more.
favorites. When people are looking past us, okay, they're here and there, they're trying.
Say no more. But love for jumping on, my bro. Appreciate it. Warren, your final thoughts, my man?
Yeah, Jacob Kiwior will score the winning goal in the Champions League final.
Wow.
That's it.
I love it. Sweet, short, to the point. I'll see you tomorrow night, Warren.
Oh,
And
lovely.
your final thoughts, my brother?
Warren, the next time I come to your pub, I come in peace. But yeah, I'd love to come and watch a game there with you guys. Probably the Champions League semi-finals. I'll make a turn. I'll wear
Me and
neutral
Warren.
Gonna
colors.
be the final. Don't worry.
I'll wear orange. I'll wear neutral colors, orange or green. But now look, yeah, good luck to Arsenal tomorrow night. You know, it's I think it's weird for people saying that we're rivals. Would an Arsenal fan ever wish Spurs luck? Listen, that's each person's prerogative. I appreciate good football, and I think Arsenal is a good side. So I begrudge them the fact that I'd love to see them to get the fun. Doesn't mean I want to see them win, but you know, I think they deserve to win tomorrow night. They've done the hard work. And then yeah, look, comedy on Thursday night to see what Spurs and United dish up. Yeah, I'm deflated when it comes to football with Spurs is concerned. Absolutely
I hope,
deflated.
I hope they cheer you up on Thursday, man. I don't like you like this. It was fun in the beginning, but it's not fun anymore.
Listen,
Not
bring
funny.
Pochettino back, and then I'll be chest out. I'll be guns blazing. I'll be coming for you. Because it's the
But
only time people were scared of us is under Pochettino.
yeah, true. I was. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You had me shitting when you went to the final. I thought, oh my lord.
Ah,
But
hey
gents, it's
guys,
been an awesome show. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Thanks,
I can
guys.
do this
thank
all
you.
night, but pause. We can do this soon again. Maybe we'll review the Champions League next week, and obviously with the semi-finals coming up.
Yeah,
But again, much love to everyone in the comments. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. It's DVD, it's Ahmad, it's Warren, it's Bram, and we are out of here. Bless.
Told them I
Right,
am the
everyone.
prince of grime, and I
Right.
just came back from putting brothers in hearses. I was with verses, talking all about other verses. Perfect. RTL. Young gun of the scene, Vieira, I'm keen. Might turn up with the troops.